Hi guys, it's Angie again. So sorry if the lighting's weird and sorry if my face is weird. I broke my camera so the lighting doesn't adjust very well and you see like I've got cracks here so you see where the lights are like flaring. So I'm gonna start off a wee bit about me. My name's Angie. I'm 18. I am from Edinburgh, Scotland. And I went to boarding school for 7 years. Um, my mother was an alcoholic. She loved me. She loved me dearly. But as many people will know, alcoholism or any kind of substance dependency, can really ruin people. And I had a sister who passed away when I was 8 years old. My mother passed away when I was 11. My mum loved me. She loved me and my sister dearly. And she wasn't always drunk, and when she wasn't, she was an amazing mum. She would stand up for me and she protected me, and I love her. I still do. She's dead, but I love her. And my sister was a beautiful little girl, absolutely adorable little baby. And yeah, so that's my backstory. So I went to boarding school when I was about 12. I always wanted to go to boarding school. Oh yeah, sorry. Right, so point number one. I've got mild ADHD, but I can't have a full sentence. I bounce from one to the other, like I have just now. And point number two is I live with my dad right now. So my dad's amazing. He's my best friend. He is my bedrock, and he is somebody who saved my life. He really is. He is one of the very few people I've actually... He's the only person that I'm alive for, really. And we are here for each other, and we do our best to keep each other afloat. Anyway, so I went to boarding school when I was 12, because I always wanted to go to boarding school, and also because I don't get homesick. And at the time, it was just a little bit tense with me and my dad. As everybody knows, it can get quite tense with, young teenagers, especially when you're a single parent, just because it just, you know. So for me, I don't get homesick, so I was just like, I love you, but I really want to go to boarding school. I got into boarding school. It was an amazing boarding school. It was the Royal School Wolverhampton, and they did everything that they can to help me. But so I was on a few different medicines. I had a medication at one point when I was 13. I was on 2 medications that didn't interact well whatsoever. I was on the antibiotic doxycycline because I was a very spotty child. I would have breakouts where an individual spot was like this big, like just massive circles all over. I was a pizza face. Yeah, so that was that. I was on 2 medications that didn't interact well, and I just felt like a husk of a person for so long, and I tried to kill myself. And just as I was about to, I won't tell you how, but just as I was about to end it, I got a text from my dad saying, hey hon, I've just had a bit of a rough night. I just wanted to check in on you. I know you're not feeling the best. I love you loads, and I'm proud of you. And he just sent me this long text just saying how much he loves me. And I don't think I cried, but it definitely, it took me a little while. And I just kind of stopped. And I was just sat in the bathroom for half an hour. It's like 3 in the morning. And I just had to have a moment to realise and be like, I am all he has left. And without, my lighting's awful, sorry. Without me, he has no one. And I don't know, I stopped myself, and I just said, you know, I don't need to do this, because I need to be alive for my dad. Because even at the time where I felt I had no friends, I know my dad had many friends, and I don't want to take him away from them. Because I know my dad, and I know if something happened to me, or, you know, I did something to myself, he would be following me straight after. And I love him so much, and I stopped, and I just said to the nurse, I can't take these meds. And she said, you know, we've got an appointment with CAMS, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Centre service, in two weeks, so please just try and keep taking them, which I didn't. I stopped taking the Ritalin because I felt that was what was the problem, and I won't tell you how I hid it, but it got to the point where the nurse had to stand right beside me, like over my shoulder, and make sure I took it, which I still didn't. I managed to hide it, but after not taking them I felt much better. I actually felt like I had personality again. I felt like I wasn't just a ghost wandering the halls, I was actually trying to talk to people. And I'm not saying ever go cold turkey, do not ever go off your medication unless you're like being monitored or you talk to somebody, but at the same time, if it gets to the point that you're about to kill yourself, you should have the initiative to know exactly what you can't take. And that's what I did. I had to take it for my own, I had to do it for my own safety, because it was chance that I didn't do it because my dad texted me. So don't just unauthorizedly go off your medication. That's my PSA, that's my disclaimer. I'm not encouraging anything like that, because yeah. So yeah, and I got through the rest of the years. I'd had problems with self-harm, I had problems with overeating and then purging. It got to the point where I would stop doing it because of what I was eating, and I would do it to hurt myself. And I would literally, first thing I did in the morning was that. And I told the boarding house mistress, she is the most amazing woman. She has helped me throughout the years, everywhere that she could. She has very strong values, and I'm proud to be who I am, and I'm only that person because of her and my family and my friends. She is a very big part of my life, and she is like a second mum to me. I have like 4 second mums who I've just taken to as a mother. But yeah, so, you know, I told her it's getting a bit bad now. This is what's going on, this is how I'm doing. And she said, how can I help? Like, I want you to... She was the type of person where if she didn't understand something, she would pull you aside for a one-on-one, and she would ask you, why? And if you don't know why, what do you feel? Or what are you trying to feel? Or what are you trying not to feel even? And she was very good at taking the initiative to understand how to help. That's one thing I'm very proud of her for. So yeah, and I started to talk to her, I started to let her know how I'm doing, how bad everything is. And then when I was 16, I was raped. I don't want to go into the details because I have a lot of self-doubt about it. Because it was a messy situation. I didn't take it to court for several reasons, but I did get the police involved. And I don't know. Anyway, got through the years, and I was actually doing surprisingly well. Actually, no, I've just remembered I wasn't. I was doing well in consideration, but that's because I was taking it on other people. I became abusive with my friends. I became vindictive, bullying, manipulative. And while these are qualities I've always had, it started to come out in a negative way. And I am very manipulative, but I try and help people with it. I try to do it in such a way that I can make them, for example, if somebody's bullying a friend, I will like text that person, the bully, and basically play along to get the information that I need to report back to my friend to get evidence for them. That's basically how I try and help people. And yeah, so, but then by the time I left school, I had learned that I have seasonal depression, undiagnosed, but very evident. And it got to a point where I was still taking it on my friends. I was less abusive. I was starting to take more accountability, but I was being much more passive aggressive. I felt very apathetic, very angry. I didn't know what was wrong. I was in counselling for several years, but it wasn't helping because the thing about counselling is it's about self-discovery. I can't discover what I don't know is wrong. So yeah, I left halfway through my A-levels, which is the exams when you're around 18. I left. I just said to the school, you know, I can't do this. I'm really struggling and I need to go back to Edinburgh, get a job and get my life together before I can carry on doing anything. And they were very supportive. And I'm doing much better now. So that's a bit of my backstory. I'm not trying to bash anybody. The school were doing everything they could. The nurse trying to keep me to take my medication is because she wasn't licensed to let me not take it. She was very supportive. She was like an aunt to me. We had many arguments, but that was to be expected. We have very clashing but similar personalities. But she is so lovely. Everybody at the school did everything they could to help me, and thank you to them. But this is what I'm saying. Even in your worst moments, just postpone. I'd say don't do it, but sometimes the pressure of that is agonizing. So I'm gonna say postpone. If you're definitely like you're so close to doing it, wait a day, wait a week. Think of something like, I've got to go to that concert with my friend. What if they can't go with me, or I can't go with them because I'm dead? Look for the tiniest thing to look forward to, even if it's a certain food at school that you really like. I loved the sausage rolls until I changed them, then I had a problem. But I would literally look for absolutely everything that I could to keep me going and to just focus on that and nothing else. I would just anything to keep me going. And I think that's a good strategy, which is always postpone. I know how bad the urges get, but I promise you, like, it's gonna suck. It's not easy. But yeah, just postpone. Keep postponing until you don't do it. Because at some point it's gonna get better. Anyway, sorry, this is 14 minutes already, and it's just been me yapping on. I'm a bit of a greasy bitch, obviously. So I am in the middle of like a year-long breakdown. So I've decided to shave off my eyebrows. I had this half of my eyebrow shaved because one of them was straight and one of them was like an angle. I have tried to dye my hair pink and purple. It was a really nice colour, but again, my camera is broken and kind of crap, so you can't see the colour very well. I'm hoping the sound works for this, because if it doesn't, then that's a waste of 14 minutes, and I've also re-recorded this, so that's 28 minutes. So, tell me if I've blocked the microphone. I was holding my phone weird, so I might have blocked it. I look bald, because I'm greasy. But yeah, I love you, I support you, and I'm here for you. Mwah.